I want to attract a mate for, to have a baby with. Whoa.
You're wanting more time for this, or? Begin again.
Okay, I'd like to attract a mate to have a child with, and to see where my vibration needs to be more aligned for that.
As we began here today, we were talking about the power of being satisfied in your incompletion. And if there were ever someone that we were wanting to understand that, it is you. It's an interesting thing, because as you stand in this place where you're wanting a mate, you're wanting a relationship, you're wanting a baby, you're wanting a family, you're wanting all of these things that right now it feels to you that you do not have. Your feeling of not having it is the strongest vibration that we feel from you. In other words, the feeling of not having it is a much stronger feeling than appreciation for other aspects of your life, or even from anticipation about having it. We watch sometimes. A person can be standing in the place unfulfilled or not yet complete, knowing that in the future there will be family, or there will be financial empire, or there will be children, and understanding that it's not happening right now, but it will happen someday. And you can find yourself feeling perfectly all right with your now. You say things like, well, this is the stage of life that I'm at now, and that will be a future stage of life. And it is possible to anticipate a future event, even though it has not even begun to actualize in your experience, and have no misalignment of energy within you, so that you are allowing the manager, the universal law of attraction, to line things up for future experiences. But then it is a common thing, as you get closer to what you believe is the time that something should have manifested, where rather than happily anticipating this future experience, you are feeling discomfort about it not happening now. And that's what we're mostly feeling from you. And that's the bridge that we're wanting to help you to build.
I thought it would have happened by now already. You're right about that.
You say, it should have happened already, or my time clock is running out, or I'm not producing enough eggs to keep me in the market for that forever, or there are a number of things that your attention to what others are saying around you can hold you in a place that's not a vibrational match. But we're wanting you to take another tact with this. We're offering some new words here that, as you ponder them, and as you play with them, and even as we are here together today, you can bring yourself to a place of being happily anticipating something that is in your future while feeling satisfied with where you are. If there is something that we would want to convince you of, something that we know, that we would like to find ways of expressing so that you would know it too, or at least know that we know it so that you can maybe know it. In other words, we know it so clearly, and we want you to know that we know it so that maybe you can know it. You getting that?
Getting it.
That everything is unfolding perfectly. It's like, we've talked about this with you before, it's like knowing that the movie has a happy ending, so you don't get all freaked out if it's not going the way you want it to. Instead, you know that it has a happy ending, so you sort of almost enjoy watching it unfold because you know that it has a happy ending. And that's the way we would like you to approach this. We want you to begin to enjoy the process. Have you ever worked on a project where it required more of you than you thought you would give, and at first you felt resentful because it was harder than you wanted it to be? But once you got rolling with it and you sort of got in the groove of it, you started to enjoy it, and you discovered that the project actually demanded through you more than you ever thought could happen. And as a result, the feeling of triumph when you achieved it was bigger and greater than anything that you'd have ever experienced before either. So you said, it was really worth it. At first I didn't think it was going to be worth it, but it turned out to be worth it. Well, that's the format that you're wanting to apply to this. And you've already been through the hard part. In other words, you're wanting to gather the attitude that it's all, what's coming to me is so extraordinary and going to be so wonderful that all of this working my way up to it, all of this molding the energy into place, every bit of it is going to be worth it. And then we want to offer one slight adjustment to that, because we have to say to you, you have to be enjoying the now in order to get there.
My business is like that. I had opened a dating service.
They can't hear her.
I opened a dating service that caters to millionaires a year ago, and it's off the charts now. They're doing a movie on my life. It's in Marie Claire magazine this month. It's like I never dreamed. I was doing it for business, and now it's like exceeded my wildest dreams. Everybody wants to join. Everyone's sending me money. It's like I want to be able to get that energy into my personal life.
All right, now this is a very good approach. So was that always as it is now?
No. It happens quickly.
It feels like it happens quickly because the manifestation goes from no manifestation to a manifestation. But the ideas were in the air. The energy was in alignment. In other words, you got things lined up before the manifestation began to happen. And so what you're wanting to do, if you can, is try to find some of the feelings that you were having about that even before it was manifesting. Did you feel desperate or worried? Or frightened, or even uncertain?
I think it was because I'm really a doer. I do everything. I'm like an action-oriented person, so I knew that was in my control. I have confidence when it comes to business. I know I can make money hand over fist and make it happen. You know, there's no question about it. But when it comes to relationships, it's dealing with another person.
And yet, so think about all of those people who have become intertwined with you in terms of business. They were not always in your life.
No.
They came on the heels of the vibration. In other words, they were not there and then they were there.
Right.
Just as your mate is not in your life in physical form, but will be there. In other words, it is the same. If you will look for the parallels between that. In other words, as we reach for a parallel and you say, no, that is different, that's business and this is personal, and we say, don't do that. Don't look for the reasons that it isn't the same. Look for the reasons that it is the same. Think about how it was in thought or idea before there were any physical attributes of it. Think about how there are many more still coming who aren't currently in your experience. And as you practice the idea of everything is about finding the idea, aligning to the idea, and then the universe yielding around that idea.
A lot of it has to do, I went on vacation to Cabo not too long ago, and I was really exhausted from work, and I said, I'm going to do what Abraham says, I'm going to let the manager take over, and I'm just going to relax. And a man came in, and he was like everything I wanted. We had a great weekend together. We bonded. And then he took my telephone number and address, and I did the same thing with him. I never heard from him, and then I decided to call him, and he didn't exist. Like, you know, what he gave me was information that was incorrect. And I was like, you know, here I am letting the manager take over, and maybe there's something in my field that is not emanating, like, true people. Like I want an honest man. I want somebody who I can count on in LA where I live. Reliability is, you know, it's not in the dictionary. So I want something like that. I want somebody who's really real. And I don't feel like I'm on a vibrational frequency to attract that type of a man yet.
Well, from what you just said and from the way you feel, do you feel that those people are easy to find or even possible to find?
I feel they exist, and I just feel it takes time and it's not so easy. I admit that.
And so what you're saying to the manager is, I know this is going to be hard, but I know you can do it. But I know you can do it. And because it is hard, I don't expect it to happen fast.
Right.
And I'm anticipating that I'll have some near misses. And it's logical that it would show up as struggle in my experience because that's sort of the way I feel it. After all, I live in Los Angeles where reliability is non-existent.
Right, well, okay. Yeah,
and so,
that's true, that's true.
Then you say, I think there might be something in my energy field. And we say, there might be. There might be something in your energy field that and we would even acknowledge that it is logical that there would be. It's not an easy thing to observe things one way and not take note of it. But what you're wanting to do, you see, what you are doing in business is unusual. Most people don't experience the speed of success or the degree to success that you have achieved, and yet there it is, a reality. And so you say to your manager, Well, I know that it is not the norm, but unusual things happen to me. Unusual things happen to me in business. I'm unique in that way. I believe that I can be unique in this way once I relax and start noticing how I am unique in other ways. And as you just start, that's the bridge that you're wanting to build, and you have such a good footing for it because you already understand law of attraction. You already know how to line up your energy relative to so many things. What you're wanting to do, what we would like you to do, is just relax and begin to enjoy. And what you are expressing in terms of your words and in terms of your vibration is such a big part of the reason that we have begun to speak about the art of allowing. Deliberate creation sounds more like making things happen. The art of allowing is really the way you make things happen, but it's more about letting things happen. It's about, so you, here is a parallel that this look at your life relative to the laws of the universe may be a good path for you to follow. You could say, I've applied what I believe to be deliberate creation to my business life, which to me feels more like lining up energy and taking action. Lining up energy and taking action. I've been deliberate about what I do, and I've been doing it for so long, it's second nature to me. My inspiration to act seems intuitive. I'm always on the right track when I do that. While my inspiration to act relative to relationships, my intuition has not been serving me as well as it has in business. So I'm going to do what Abraham's been doing. I'm going to soften the idea of deliberate creation, and I'm going to begin calling it, relative to my relationships, the art of allowing. I'm going to start letting the universe yield to me what I know the universe must surely know I want, because I told the universe endlessly the attributes that I want in this relationship. I'm going to really buckle under here, and I'm going to practice the art of allowing, which means I'm going to soften up on this. I'll do the deliberate creation thing with my business, and I'm going to begin to allow this. The universe knows I want a reliable, sincere, beautiful, talented, brilliant, capable, loving partner. The universe knows that. I've given the universe bits and pieces of this. The universe knows better than I can describe with my words what I'm looking for in a relationship. And I'm going to soften my feeling around this. I'm going to say to myself things like, it's coming and it doesn't matter that it's not here right now. It's coming and it doesn't matter that it's not here right now. I'm right on track. I am right on track. I am allowing the universe to yield it to me. I'm allowing the universe to yield it to me. And when something happens, like a beautiful man appears to me, and we have this wonderful time, and then he sort of disappears, that only means I'm getting closer. It means I'm getting closer to letting it in. I let this one in for a little while. I let this one in for a weekend. I let this one in for a glance across the room. I let this one in. I'm letting it in. I'm letting it in. I'm letting it in. And when I think back about the rendezvous, and I think about how delicious it was, I want to remember the delicious parts, not the he disappeared part, because that was all evidence that the universe is yielding to me what I'm wanting, and I'm getting better and better and better at letting it in. And I know, this is the part you're wanting to emphasize in your affirmations, I know that when it is really the one that the universe has picked out for me, when I let him in, he'll stay.
That's good.
And as long as he's not staying, he's not quite the right one. In other words, you see, one thing that we all know about you, you are precise in your desire. So, your desire is very particular, which is a good thing. Your allowing is not quite up to speed with it. So you keep letting in something that's not quite right, and the universe is not going to make something stick that's not quite right. It defies all the laws of the universe. So when he disappears, when he's mythical, when you can't find him, all that means is he was almost right, just not quite right. And this is progress. This is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. This isn't something I did wrong or something I should have done differently. This is the way the universe is appeasing me on my path to the perfect relationship. You're going to notice a stronger stream of that. And the thing that we most... Here is a promise to you. Play these words over in your mind a little bit over the next few days. A steady stream of almost right on the way to that which is perfect is before you. When you stop taking score about how right it is, then you'll be letting the one that is really right in.